This is the speech project for this group.
I'm Danielle Ford, and we're each going to be covering over the topic of environmental issues in Fiji. I'm going to be covering my topic on coral reefs. A lot of you might not know, but there's damages in coral reefs. Coral reefs are referred to as the rainforest of the sea, which implies that there's a lot of life on the sea, actually about 10,000 different species. In Fiji, damaged reefs have been caused by destructive fishing practices like the use of dynamite, excessive harvesting to sell coral reefs, which they just cut it off, take it out, sell it. Damage by careless divers and dramatic increase in coral bleaching. These are many problems that affect everything on the sea. Here is, this is my visual aid, and this is an illustration, someone drew of a coral reef. This is an anemone, which houses fish like clownfish, and this is also another coral reef, and these are the pictures of the Fiji Islands. Here are some facts on the coral reefs, which I found on defenders.org, which you can too. They are found in shallow areas less than about 150 feet, but can be found as deep as 450 feet. And they add up to less than 1% of the sea floor. And to us, that sounds like not very much, but 1% of the sea floor is actually the size of France. They're home to 10,000 marine species, like I said before. About 1/3 of all marine fish live part of their lives on coral reefs, related to jellyfish and anemones, which are flowering plants. And that's the picture there. And actually, a fun fact about anemones is that clownfish lather themselves in their mucus to prevent from getting stung. So that's how they can not get stung. And actually, from the fish going in and out and being lathered in their mucus, they actually help give nutrients and provide food for the anemones.
I'm Crystal, and I will be talking about water pollution in Fiji. A majority of Fiji's communities rely greatly on the marine environment for meeting their social, economic, and survival needs. In recent years, there has been a huge increase in industrial and agriculture activities, such as hazardous waste, laboratory waste, and unsafe sewage disposal. In rural areas, water pollution is caused by agriculture activities, such as soil and fertilizer runoff. About 80% of Fiji's population has access to piped water. 40% has access to sewage facilities. Overflowing sewage from sewers and poorly maintained sewage stations also significantly contribute to water pollution. Though dumps are available, they are also poorly managed. There are very little mechanisms in place that keep leakage from going into waterways. According to the Fiji Times, tests performed by the Authority of Fiji have confirmed the presence of fecal coliform 50 times above normal levels. In the last couple of years, Fiji's pollution problem has improved, but the access to reliable, safe drinking water has not kept up with the demand for it, leaving people with no choice but to rely on unsafe drinking water.
My name is Lynn Thomas, and I'm going to be talking about the land degradation and how it's affecting development in Fiji. Land degradation, to begin with, is the deterioration in the quality of land, which includes its topsoil, the vegetation, and water resources. And usually this is caused by excessive exploitation. In Fiji, overcultivation of cropland and deforestation, which I know you'll be covering in just a moment, has contributed immensely to land degradation in the Lombasa region. This is a result of coastal development, pollution, and increased water demand from freshwater lenses, exploitation of resources, which I spoke about a moment ago, and other related issues. The absence of consistent monitoring is a really big reason why this is happening. Within the coastal zone, this development makes it really difficult to assess the extent of the degradation of the land. Fiji is committed to halting this land degradation and has been on a path to do so for some time. It's been a difficult and challenging path, but they are doing their best. With the implementation of the Environment Management Act and other related programs, the allocation of adequate resources, and the most pending issue will begin to be addressed soon. I want to take some time and talk about some of the key features of the EMA. Again, that is the Environment Management Act. They are responsible for setting up the National Environment Council, or the NEC, and that is to help coordinate the formulation of the environment and its related policies. The requirement for the Environment Impact Association is binding all the parties together, including the government. So these groups, again, are going to work together to help this land degradation come to an end. There are permits that are needed to help discharge waste and pollutants in the environment. The National Resource Inventories, National Resource Management Plan, and National State of the Environment Report, and the National Environment Strategy. Those are a lot of different groups that are really working together for this one common cause. And again, with these advancements in order, change is imperative, but not as quickly as they'd like. There are some things that are still holding it up. The government is not necessarily seeing the importance of this advancement, which is obviously not good for the land and its people and their resources. The Fiji Times recently reported that leaders from 17 islands met in Fiji in order to get together and discuss how to cope with the rising sea levels and the increased incidences in the land.
I'm Chance, and I'm going to be tying on to what she said about the deforestation in Fiji. Deforestation is the removal of forest trees from various ways, but mainly from humans doing it. It's been a problem in Fiji for over 3,500 years, and the problem is that people are needing it for economic and developmental reasons. For reasons such as, for example, the government set out land and destroyed the crops there to sponsor banana and sugarcane and cocoa economic opportunities. The government is an important reason that the deforestation is happening because of their timber policies. They only allow short-term timber policies, which makes the foresters go and just take as much timber as they can in that short amount of time, which just destroys the land. The habitat and species of multiple species is being destroyed, and also because of the roots being destroyed, the soil is being eroded and causing it to flood in all those areas. They're attempting to help the situation by planting new forests, but because of the fact that it's a new forest, their roots haven't grown and they're not able to do all the same stuff that an old mature forest can do. The forest doesn't provide food or shelter or anything anymore because of the fact that it's gone. Cutting down the forest also contributes to the issue of global warming, in that it emits roughly 16% of the global warming greenhouse gases.
Hello, my name is Diana. Today my topic I'm going to speak to y'all is about soil and erosion in Fiji. Where's Fiji Island located? Fiji Island located is in the southwest of the Pacific Ocean. The Fiji Island is this. What is the soil erosion in the Fiji Island? In the Fiji Island, the soil erosion is in the farming is a problem because of the weather that is in the Fiji Island and the separation Another problem is that the land is increasing, meaning that there's more space. People are cutting the trees, and those trees are the homes of the animals. An example in the article is in the Fiji Island, land degradation of the soil erosion from ancestral. Agriculture person explained Fiji has experienced serious increasing degradation, widespread and indiscriminate. This is the Fiji Island pictures. This interesting fact of the Fiji Island is Fiji Island became independent republic in 1970, following nearly a century in the British colony. The Fijians are very friendly people. Fijians are also some of the most genuine friendly people in the world. The president of the Fiji Island is Ratu Epeli Nakaratu. This is my website page. Dean, I hope that you enjoy my presentation. Do you have any questions?
I'm sorry, do you know the current state of Fiji at this time?
Yes, actually, Fiji is once again facing some trying times as recently Fiji and Samoa are recovering from Tropical Cyclone Evan, which hit in December 2012. And it's thought to be one of the worst storms since 1990, and it's causing over $300 million worth of damage in Fiji, which is affecting them economically as well.
Any question?
I have one. Why did you choose the coral reef as your topic?
Because I think it's really cool how tens of thousands of different species live on it, and only 1% of the sea floor to us would seem not big at all, but it's actually the size of France. So I thought that was very interesting.
Question, what is fecal coliform?
Fecal coliform is bacteria that's present in water when feces is present in the water.
If y'all have any more questions, y'all can look it up in a book or like the
Where do you get that?
World Fact. You can get it at Barnes and Noble. It is $65 and
Family Atlas. It talks a lot about Fiji and different islands and stuff like that.
if there are no more questions, we thank you for your time.
Thank you.